You noticed it too, didn't you? I don't remember when I first noticed it. That's the strange part. If something truly terrifying happens, you remember the exact moment, the sound that cut through the air. I was brushing my teeth, half asleep, barely present in my own body. My eyes were open, but my mind was still somewhere between dreams and morning. The bathroom light buzzed softly above me. That familiar hum you stop hearing after years of living with it. The tiles were cold beneath my feet. The mirror was fogged just enough to blur the edges of my face. I wasn't really looking at myself, not properly. The mirror was just doing what mirrors do, reflecting, repeating, existing. And that's why it took me so long to understand what was wrong, because nothing looked wrong at first. My face was there. My movements were there. Every small, tired motion copied perfectly. Almost perfectly. It wasn't until I spit into the sink and looked up again that I felt it. That quiet, crawling feeling that someone else was looking back. Not watching, recognizing. And that's when the thought finally formed in my head. You noticed it too. I leaned closer to rinse my mouth. The sink was stained with old watermarks, tiny cracks running through the porcelain like veins. I watched the foam swirl away, white disappearing into the dark hole of the drain. That's when I noticed it. My reflection followed. Almost. Not late enough to matter. Not early enough to notice. Just a fraction behind. So small it felt stupid to focus on it. So subtle it could live comfortably inside doubt. I blinked. Once. Twice. The face in the mirror blinked too. The timing felt right again. Perfect. I tilted my head slightly, as if stretching a stiff muscle in my neck. The reflection copied me. Smooth. Natural. My heart didn't race. It didn't need to. I blamed my eyes. The light above me flickered for half a second. Old bulb. Cheap wiring. The angle wasn't straight anyway. Mirrors distort things. They bend edges. They lie about distance. That's normal. I told myself that as I reached for the towel, as I wiped my mouth, as I avoided looking directly at the glass again. I finished brushing and turned away. The next night, I tested it. I didn't rush. I didn't blink too much. I didn't let my breathing change. The bathroom felt different after dark. Quieter, heavier, like the walls were listening instead of holding things in. The light above the mirror buzzed again, that same tired sound, as if it already knew what I was about to do. I stood still for a long moment, just staring, letting my eyes adjust, letting the silence settle into my bones. My reflection stared back. Perfect posture, perfect distance. I raised my hand. Every muscle moved on purpose. No sudden motion, no excuse for confusion. The reflection copied me, but not at the same time. There was a delay, barely a heartbeat, barely enough to see, but enough to feel. Like missing a step on the stairs, like realizing the floor is lower than you thought, that sick drop inside your chest. The room felt colder, the glass felt deeper, thicker than it should have been. I lowered my hand, the reflection followed, again, late. There was a delay, barely a heartbeat, but I laughed quietly. Not because it was funny, not because anything had actually amused me, but because laughter fills silence, because it tries to push back shadows that press too close, because sometimes your body reacts before your mind understands. I told myself it was nothing, just a trick of the mind, a tired brain playing with shadows, the remnants of stress from long days and longer nights. That fear likes patterns. It looks for repetition, for logic that isn't really there. And our brains are eager to give it one. So I waved again, slowly, carefully, making sure every motion was deliberate, controlled. The reflection waved back, perfectly timed, too perfect. Then I stopped, held my hand midair, frozen in the silence that returned instantly. The reflection didn't. It stayed there, arm still, as if it had forgotten what to do next, or as if it had learned something my mind refused to accept. My arm stayed still. I didn't move it, not an inch. Not because I wanted to watch, but because something deep inside me told me not to. A small, instinctive warning, the kind your body gives before your mind even realizes there's danger. The reflection's arm slowly lowered, every movement deliberate, careful, as if it didn't want to surprise me, as if it knew exactly how I would react and was giving me a choice I didn't want to take. I stepped back from the sink, slowly, my feet reluctant to leave the cold tiles. The room felt smaller all of a sudden, like the mirror was pulling me closer, like the space between us had shrunk. The reflection stayed close enough to make the air feel thicker, close enough that I could feel the weight of its presence even through the glass. Its eyes never left mine. That's when I understood. It wasn't copying me late, not anymore, not like it had been before. It wasn't a simple delay caused by light, angle, or a trick of my tired eyes. It was deciding. Every tiny movement, every subtle shift, every blink. Deciding when to look human, when to behave like me, when to seem harmless, and when to remind me I wasn't alone. I watched it carefully, and that's when the sick, sinking feeling hit me. It knew. It understood more than I wanted it to, more than my mind could admit. And now, every reflection, every mirror in my house carries that possibility. I cover the mirror now, not because I'm afraid of what I'll see, not because I don't want to meet its gaze, but because I'm afraid it's learned how long to wait, how patient it can be, how quietly it can plan. And I don't want to give it the satisfaction of choosing the moment.